Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White, and I am your host on Keeping It Real on Purpose. You see, I'm your life purpose coach and your author, working it out the way you need it to be worked out. So, let me tell you, this is the podcast for all around women where we challenge your everyday thinking and limiting beliefs around life, relationships, and your business to help you live your life purposefully. Today on the show, we're excited to have our guest, Alana Winters. Now, she is an author, and her book, well, I could say books, are a series. They're called The Vanished in Baltimore, and it comes out on the 26th. So we're going to pick her creative mind, and we're going to find out what makes an author really tick. Because audience, you know, my tick is a little talk. But we're going to definitely get started. Welcome, Alana Winters, to Keeping It Real. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing terrific. So we're all excited to hear about The Vanished. So the first time I think about that is like, ghost, ooh, that kind of stuff. So tell us what The Vanished is about.
It's not quite ghosts. It's a series that I did with 10 other authors. And my part of the series is Vanished in Baltimore. Each one is in a different city. Okay. And they have a mafia boss where they fall for their captives. The first story that came out was Vanished in Brooklyn by Kylie Marcus, and today is Matilda Martell's release, and she had Vanished in Manhattan.
Oh, nice.
She's doing really well. Yeah, it's a really good read.
New York.
I know. We had 2 New York ones. We had
Brooklyn nice.
And Manhattan, so we got lucky with that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what made you is this your own, first let me ask you, is this your own creation to create this series, or is it something someone came to you and said, would you like to join?
It is my series, and it was absolutely terrifying because as an author, you get really excited to get invited into one of these author collaborations.
Right.
And I've only been publishing for a year, but I've been working at it for years.
Right.
So I was really wanting to do one. And then finally it was I had a really good idea and I just couldn't get it out of my head. And I was like, why don't I just do one myself?
Right.
So I was like, I feel like you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. So I was like, why not shoot my shot?
Right.
And it worked out, and I got lots of interest from amazing authors. I was so green in the beginning.
Isn't everybody though?
Yeah. But you want to think that, you can figure it out and that you can Google everything and just, it'll all work out.
Yeah.
But, I think the biggest lesson I learned was just ask questions constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Asking questions is totally okay. And don't throw away any paper that you write down an idea on, right?
Ever. Never do that.
Keep everything.
It'll haunt you. It'll haunt you forever.
Yes, it will. It was like, what was that thought? I threw it away? What? So
the priceless one?
Yes, the priceless one. The one that had the statement that was really great, that was going to take me everywhere. But yeah, I get it. Isn't it funny how, as an author, you start thinking in your mind, I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm not like, the bestsellers. I'm not like Oprah, and I'm not like this one. And you start going through those things in your mind. Did that happen to you?
Oh, almost every other day. Yeah, it's an impossible struggle that goes from day to day, and you just have to keep your head up. You become really resilient after a while when you start getting reviews and you start thinking of them as constructive criticism, rather as at the beginning I was like, that's a personal attack. Right,
it's a personal attack.
I know, it just felt very, very personal, and that's something you worked really, really hard on.
Right.
But then I was like, I want to be the best I can possibly be at all times. I always want to be growing, and you have to do that in any business.
Right.
Stay on top of things. Things are always changing.
Sure.
And there's just a million things to learn, always.
Yeah, Absolutely. So I'm glad you said that, because that was my next question. Is authorpreneurship, and I teach this because I actually help people from other countries publish, and authorpreneurship is a business. So you just, sometimes people may create books to have a business card or a calling card, or to relate something to what they're, they're speaking about, right? But it sounds like you're on the cusp of business. Talk about the business part of that, of being an author, the business part.
It's a wild journey. This started as a hobby for me, where it developed into a part-time job, and then developed into what feels like 6 full-time jobs. Yeah, there's just so much involved. There's marketing. You have to keep up with your website, your different emails. And I haven't even been on my personal social media in probably a year, because there's just no time for it, and you forget you're even that person sometimes.
Right.
But in the beginning, I was just, it was just something to do that I loved, and then it did turn into my own business, and you have to think very differently, wear a lot of different hats, and I'm always joking about being my own boss and saying, my boss is terrible. She never gives me a break.
That's a good one. That's really good. That's great. That's great. Yeah, so being your own boss as an author, you have to do a lot of the back end work, which is grueling in itself. Like you said, the social media part of it. And you just can't create the book and just put it down. It's always, is your book always changing? Or like if you write a page and you're like, okay, I'm giving myself this page today. And then you look at it the next day, be like, oh, no, let me change that. Is it ever evolving because you're always being creative?
Yeah, I start off plotting my books very detailed.
Okay.
But I'm always looking for the bigger, better idea. So I always go through it one more time and look to see if one more time turns into 3 more times.
Doesn't it always?
I'm always looking for something that just adds a little something to it, just to make it a little more special, a little more unique. But that's also a dangerous formula for overworking your work.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You have to be careful and find that line.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely spend so much time on one page because one word seems out of place, and I know that I can know that I know that this is the part that's going to change everything, and you stay right there, and it's like 2 hours go past, 3 hours, but what is going on? You lose track of time.
Exactly. It's such a juxtaposition. There's just sometimes where you have days where it just clicks and everything starts flowing. And then I have other days where I'm staring at my screen and I'm just like, please, come to me.
Give
me
something.
One idea.
Yeah.
Just to start this going.
Yes. So what made you do the vanished? What made you, what idea just popped into your head? Let's do this. What made you do that?
I've always been into mafia films. Since I was 9, it was like the first R-rated movie I like. My brother and my mom were watching it, and I stuck in the kitchen and was quiet and watched it with them, and they didn't know I was there. And ever since then, I just kind of got hooked on it. There's something about the danger and the action and adding that with a romantic story that, I don't know, that's just my jam. I love everything about that.
Yeah. And you know what? That's really kind of like a true tale, I can remember I didn't really understand Casablanca when it happened. And they always get the girl, but then the girl's always trouble.
Right? They always are.
Yeah, they're always trouble. They always end up getting them in trouble, especially in the mafia shows. So my favorite, and I always watch it, and you know that, The Godfather. I always, every Thanksgiving, I can watch, if they have like a marathon, I can sit all day and repeat every line.
I love it.
I just gotta,
Yes.
and it's so
I put a little
enthralling.
nod in my book to that. There's a cat in it named Marlin
Uh-huh.
from Marlon Brando. And I just
Yes.
thought that was a cute little nod to
Yes.
add.
He seems to have solidified it for me when I was a child, younger. He solidified, the suave, not too
Yeah.
street, very suave, and had that command in his body. Like, he didn't have to raise his voice. That's like, to me, was like Mafia City. It's like, yes, yes.
Exactly. They lowered his voice too. They put like cotton balls in his mouth so he's supposed to be
Yes.
like that. It's
Yes.
amazing.
That, yeah, it's and I kept,
Dedication.
it was, and I read I'm not read the backstory, but when they did like a commentary, like what they did and stuff, I thought it was amazing. I really did. And I'm a fan. I'm a complete fan. When there's a marathon on, it's nothing. Nobody's watching nothing. I'm watching this all day, and I'm curled up watching it like I watched the first time. It's just so amazing.
Yes.
And if your book has that much detail, girl, bye. I will be getting this book. I will be getting it. So vanished means, what does the word vanished represent in your book?
So the girls in the books get kidnapped. So they're vanishing from their cities, and the mafia
Gotcha.
bosses are taking them. But the whole idea is that who's the actual captive, because the girls have stolen their hearts.
Oh, that's good. So can you read just a little excerpt from your book? Give our audience just a little bit.
I can.
Okay.
But I'm going to try and keep it clean here.
No,
There's not a
good.
lot of princess.
We like it down and dirty. Go right ahead. The way you wrote it is the way we receive it.
All right. We are in Asheville, North Carolina, where Carabelle is being married off to Rocco Levy. His father happens to be the boss of Miami, where Rocco reigns as his underboss. My father's gained their apparent loyalty through uniting our families. I still don't buy it, though, not even as we take our seats in front of the Basilica of St. Lawrence for the wedding. The cathedral doors open in the back of the room, showing my nieces lined up in their matching dresses. Gabby walks down first, throwing her petals at the guests, while her sisters scatter theirs on the floor. The rest of the wedding party follows, getting into the positions. My father is smiling proudly down at Carabelle when he offers his arm to take. He kisses her on both cheeks before giving her away to a man I don't trust. The longer the ceremony goes on, the harder it becomes to keep my mouth shut. I can't let this goon marry my baby sister. If anyone here objects to the union between this man and this woman, speak now or forever hold your peace. My infernal rage boils to the surface, determined to stop this abomination from happening. Before my demonic side unleashes, the church doors slam open. The guests who were in high spirits just a moment ago are now fighting to catch their breaths, paling from the shocking entrance that Timur Fedorov just made as gas and gunshots burst through the room.
Oh. So you just left it at the part where what's going on. So you do the commercial thing. I don't like it. You just created a trailer, a readable trailer. Okay. So audience, you're going to have to buy this to find out the guns are blazing now. We got to go see what's going on now. Okay. So we got to find out what's going on. Audience, Alana's book is going to be available, as she said, the 25th. And it's the 25th, right? 25th
26th, Saturday.
Oh, 26th, I'm sorry. Girl, I'm reading without my glasses. There you go. The 26th. The 26th. And it is definitely on Amazon. We're going to give you that link when you look below in the comments section. You're going to have all the information. Go get her book, audience. Now, I know she's read some good stuff. This is our second half. But I don't want to go to our second half, audience, just yet. Because I need to ask her 2 more questions, I think. So, as an author, what was one of your best resources to get you up and running?
Other authors.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I wouldn't have been able to do this without Fern Fraser. I reached out probably to 20 to 30 of my favorite authors, because you want to write what you read.
Right.
That's generally where you're going to be most comfortable.
Right.
and where you're going to tell a better story.
Mm-hmm.
And she just told me how to get started with so many things, and other authors too along the way. Nicole Rose helped me a lot. Matilda Martell, Shashari M has been incredible. She got me into conventions this year, and she's just become like one of my best friends.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah, and she's in this series too with me, so that's been so fun with this series too. As I've made some of the best friends I've ever had. They're just your people, you know.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's fun when you're working with somebody that you admire and respect. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
Good. All right. All right. So, what's one common myth at being an author that you'd like to right now debunk? What's one myth that you'd like to debunk about writing and being an author?
That it's impossible. Some people think that it's an impossible thing to do, but it's not if you have the passion for it,
right.
You make the time for it, the dedication for it, and if you can put up with 16-hour days on a regular basis.
That's right. Well, that is amazing. Thank you for that really great advice. It's such great information for me and my audience. And now we want to get to the section that we want to know about you, and this is the good part. That's a great part, but this is a good part. We learn about you as a person. Now, Alana, what's the most important person in your life?
I'd have to say my mom. I don't know if that's cheesy, but she's always the person that supports me. And on those days where I have imposter syndrome, she is the one who is always like, no, remember this,
right,
and reminds me of my accomplishments, and reminds me to not focus on the things that I have messed up on. And when I do, she reminds me that they're lessons. And when I do look at it that way, I'm like, yes, okay, I did make this mistake, but that means I won't make it again.
Right. Well, I like that. Mama love mama. Okay, that's what we do. And Mother's Day is coming up soon, so she's going to get a whole lot of loving now. I hear that, Mama.
She really is. Does this work as a present? No.
Okay, so we want to thank your mother too, because you showing up in the world right now is very special. You showing up in the world to other authors and helping them is very special. So without your mama giving you up to us, we wouldn't have you. So we're going to thank Mama too. We're going to thank her too.
Oh, great. I love that. She will.
Yeah, she can hear it on the show. Tell her watch it. Tell her you got to watch it now.
She's going to be the first one.
Yeah, she'll be the first one waiting, all excited. And I love that. So now I got another question. So now, as an author, if you had a blank billboard that you could write anything you wanted to, what would it be and why?
The first thing that came to my head was just this meme I saw earlier. It said, please buy my book. I'm not built for OnlyFans.
That's good. That's good. And we all know why that is.
Right? Yeah, it's because I sit down all day and not exactly exercising.
Oh my goodness, that's good. That's the first time, because I always ask this question and everyone gives me the most amazing answers and none of them the same. None. No one has ever told me. This is our second season. Nobody's ever told me the same answer. So that's cool. That's really good. It's really good. Now, last but not least, the question about you is, what is your favorite ice cream?
Oh. All right. That's a tough one. But it if I had to go with one that was my last ice cream ever, cookies and cream.
Ah, that's my grandson's favorite. Yeah.
It's 2 in 1. You got the ice cream and you get the cookies with like the extra cream in it.
Yeah.
It can't be beat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my grandson's favorite. And I was like, but I want my cookies separate. I'm a weirdo. I want them separate, So yeah, I gotta command everything. You know that. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, audience, we've heard the best. Now we're gonna get our final thoughts from Alana. Alana, what are your final thoughts or a tip to share with some woman out there listening to you that wants to be an author? Share with you your final thoughts about that.
This is for being an author or any dream you have, really. It's never too late. Even if you've had other dreams that haven't worked out, there's always another dream that can be out there that might be even better. And just keep pursuing it and ask for help as much as you possibly can. The worst thing that could possibly happen is somebody doesn't respond to you or they say they don't have the time to help you. But 1 out of 10 people is going to respond to you and give you the answers you need.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Alana, for being with us. And we're going to make sure that we look for Alana Winters for the series called The Vanished. Okay, so we're going to look for that on Amazon on the 26th. And of course, she's going to invite us to I'm sure she's having a virtual book launch. Yeah. So we're going to be invited. So we're going to have to ask her to read some more, starting from that point where she left off, the trailer. Okay. So we want to thank Alana for being here. And if you'd like to support the podcast, please donate. Please share it with others. Post it on social media and leave a rating or a review. To catch the latest from me, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at EJW Coaching. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. And listen, I help women of color break generational curses, patterns, and habits to get the best life ever. Remember to always draw abundance, have happiness, and a whole lot of fun. This is Edna White and Alana Winters signing off.
Bye.